Happy Thanksgiving, guys. This is my present to you on this amazing day. I'm actually making a video, and it'll probably go up tomorrow, so it's technically not Thanksgiving, but you know what, you get the sentiment. Right now, it seems like everything just loves to break around me. Like I said in my last video, I think my computer broke, and that's why I couldn't post for a while, and then I got it back after I sent it to the repair store, and I got it back, and then it started beeping loudly, just completely randomly, and to actually get rid of it, I had to reboot the computer. So, I had to send it back and get that fixed, and as I'm sitting here with my fixed computer, finally ready to make a video on Thanksgiving for you guys, my blue snowball decides to break. That's my mic, so it's going to be slightly inferior quality to what I'm usually giving you guys, but hopefully that's okay. Anyway, this is a underused battle I got on the Smokin' Wi-Fi Battle Finder. It turned out to be a very good but long match, but I suppose, you guys probably won't mind a fairly long match after such a long time of not posting. So we both lead with Domanitan, and the one main problem with this team is that it hates fire types, especially Domanitan. So I just go right off the bat for Stone Edge with my Scarf Domanitan, because I'm not playing around. I need that Domanitan gone, and I'm not going to overpredict first turn. He actually predicts me to go for U-turn, predicting him to switch into Dusk Noir, but he loses the Domanitan because of that, so that was a pretty silly play on his part. So he picks him a champ. I switch in to my Tangrowth to take that. I don't take it as well as I thought I would. I am max defense, and Tangrowth is pretty bulky, but I don't take it as well. But he takes advantage of the fact I'm confused and goes for a substitute. I make a poor play and I go for a Sleep Powder instead of just going for Giga Drain. It was kind of a poor play. I think I was kind of distracted right now when I was actually battling at this point, so that might explain why I made that fairly poor play. But he goes for another Dynamic Punch as I stand and just try to get a Giga Drain off. I do break through Confusion again, which is very nice, and take out his sub. So that's really good. I believe I do just stay in this following turn and go for Giga Drain again. And I think he decides to stay and go for another substitute, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, actually, no. I think he actually might switch out here. Yeah, he switches out, and he goes into his Roserade to take the Giga Drain. That's obviously 4 times resisted. I do break through Confusion again, which is kind of lucky in my part, but it doesn't really matter because this Roserade takes nothing from it. Probably specially defensive and 4 times resisted. So I predict him to go for Sleep Powder, and I go into the Pokemon that I kind of consider my weakest link, which is my Claydol. My Claydol does have the rocks, but I don't think rocks will be too... I mean, they'll always be nice, always beneficial, but not essential for me to win this game. Seeing as he doesn't have anyone that hurts too much, that really gets hurt by Stealth Rock, seeing as his Domanitan's already gone. So I go for Psychic as he goes for Giga Drain, and he sets up a lay of spikes as I switched in. So I decide to switch out here because I know I'm going to be losing this engagement because he can obviously restore his health due to Giga Drain, and I am not going to be able to take him out with 2 Psychics. So I actually switch out as he switches into his Maluetto, and I guess hoping I'd stand, but I don't. I go out to my Domanitan, and I take this free switch opportunity to just go for a Flare Blitz. Now, Domanitan, as you guys all know, is just a crazy threat, especially Scarfed. If you don't resist a hit from if you don't resist Domanitan's Flare Blitz, it's gonna destroy you. Even this Dusclops, who tends to be Evilite with defense investment, gets 2 KO'd from it, so that's pretty crazy. He goes into his Raikou here, and I do decide to switch out, knowing that I won't be able to take him out in one hit, and Domanitan really is going to be a threat against this team. So I switched into his Baltoy, into my, not Baltoy, that's the pre-Evo, my Dusclops, not Dusclops, what am I saying? My Claydol, that's it. And set up rocks, knowing he's not going to want to stay in, seeing as he's locked in, at least I think he's locked into Thunderbolt. I didn't see any leftovers recovery and or life orbs, so that's what I'm assuming. But yeah, I then switch out, not wanting to take Giga Drain, and go into my Yanmega. This is my Specs Yanmega. I do take a Leech Seed, which is obviously fine. It slightly decreases my sweeping potential, but not too much. I do just go for Air Slash here. I think he might have predicted me to go for like a Bug Buzz, and he might have been able to survive that. But, you know, at this point, I just want to take out this Roserade, because Roserade does kind of serve as a wall to a lot of my guys. So now he goes into his Raikou. Obviously, Raikou has the stab, super effective hit, and Air Slash is resisted. So I am going to switch, and I go into my Claydol again. He actually does predict this and goes for Hidden Power. Unfortunately, he says he missaved it. That should have been Hidden Power Ice. Instead, it's Hidden Power Electric. So that means that he has both Thunderbolt and Hidden Power Electric on one set, which is pretty funny. So now I do just go for an Earth Power, thinking that, you know, he's probably not going to stay in, but I might as well go for it. But he actually goes to his Malouetta, and that does nothing. And to be honest, guys, I have never faced a Malouetta before. I asked for a Black and White battle, but he actually ended up bringing Malouetta, which is a Black and White 2 Pokemon. And about that, I actually don't have Black and White 2 yet, because I don't really want to be spending money right now. I will hopefully get that relatively soon and be able to post some of those Black and White 2 battles for you guys. So I go for Psychic, thinking it was a fighting type. Unfortunately, I was incorrect. It's actually a Psychic normal type, and when it uses that move, it can switch into a fighting type, but so that Psychic is resisted. So seeing that my Earth Power does nothing and my Psychic does nothing, and he has a sub up, I do switch on my Raikou, knowing that my Raikou can outspeed this thing, I believe, and hopefully take out its sub even after +1 special defense. So after Leftovers Recovery, I am actually able to outspeed him and go for a Thunderbolt. So I'm not too familiar yet, like Raikou's speed. I really haven't memorized that stuff yet. I probably should have, but I haven't, so I'm not really sure like what kind of speed investment this Malouetta has at this point. I might just be naturally faster because I am timid max speed, but I don't know. So he actually goes with Psychic. He does quite a bunch after +1. I do just stay and go for a Thunderbolt, just wanting to prevent any sub he might try to set up. But actually, that really does nothing. I thought it was going to do more than that. In fact, that might have been min-max, which allowed me to break his sub, which kind of is worrisome. So I do go into my Darmanitan, who's the only thing in my team that I know will outspeed it at this point and be able to 1-hit KO, I would guess. So he does switch out and goes into his Machamp to take this Flare Blitz. Now, you guys know Darmanitan. This is crazy power. This is not banded, this is scoped, and I 1-hit KO with Machamp. Now, I know Machamp isn't too bulky, but I mean, still, that's a 1-hit KO from full health, and it's a neutral, so, well, nearly full health. So now it brings back into his Raikou. This turn, I don't want to be taking, I know if I actually go for Flare Blitz here, I will probably die to recoil damage, so I do decide to switch out into my Tangrowth, because I know that this Darmanitan is the only Pokemon on my team that can actually, that I know will outspeed that Malouetta, and can, you know, easily take it out. So I really want to keep that Darmanitan around. So he actually makes a really good play here and goes for Volt Switch. He had no reason not to. If I took him out, then it won't matter what move he went for. If not, and I do switch out, then he can Volt Switch into something better. And if, you know, for some reason I decide to stay in and I don't take him out, maybe he's scuffed, and I actually don't know who's faster, but then, I mean, a Volt Switch will take me out anyway. So he does Volt Switch out into his Malouetta, and he goes for a Substitute. Now, I was hoping that a Giga Drain would be able to take out this guy's sub, because I do have a slight amount of special attack investment on this Tangrowth. Unfortunately, it doesn't. Now, this puts me into a predicament. He now is behind a sub, and I don't think I have anything that can reliably outspeed this Malouetta. So, I believe I just go for another Giga Drain to break this Malouetta's sub, and then, after that, I think I switch out in my Darmanitan. So the reason that after this turn, after the Leftovers recovery on both of our sides, the reason I decided to switch in my Darmanitan is because I know he's going to go for Calm Mind or go for a Substitute. Now, I'm hoping that after he goes to Substitute, he'll be down at a low enough HP where he can't sub again, and then my Tangrowth will be able to win the 1v1. You know, or I could switch out after that into my Claydol, and then my Claydol could win the 1v1 with Malouetta at such low health. Because at this point, I don't know what else to do. Because if I let him get set up too much, and get behind a sub, then I won't be able to break it at all, and he'll probably have a lot more health. So I do decide to just go into my Domenitan. I don't really want to, but I kind of have to, and I end up dying. Now, he makes a pretty risky play here and goes for Calm Mind. Now, I actually didn't think I was going to die to that recoil, because I had 32 HP, and that I didn't really do that much. Like, I just broke his sub, but I do die, which is kind of lucky for him. That was kind of a ballsy play. But he is behind right now, because I think I have 4 Pokemon, and he has only 2. He has his Malouetta, and he has that Raikou. So I do go into my Claydol, as I said, and seeing that damage, I mean, that does nothing. And I don't know if I have any special attack investment in this Claydol. I might have a little bit. But seeing that, oh my god, I'm really worried at this point, because if this Malouetta is timid max speed, which like I said, I've never actually faced one of these things, so I don't know what their sets tend to be, but I did look up the speed stat, and I know that if he does have max, that this Malouette has a higher base speed than any of my remaining Pokemon. So unfortunately, he's able to, after all that stuff, take out my Claydol, and I think he's at about maybe +4 at this point. So I'm just hoping I'll be able to outspeed with my Cobalion, and I actually do, but I fail to take him out. Now that just amazes me, because I'm thinking I should probably replace Sacred Sword with Close Combat in this set, but I didn't, and because of that, his Malouetta survives, which is horrible. So now I think I lost the game. I decided to go into my Yanmega and just hope I'll be able to take him out, and I actually do outspeed. Now Malouetta is much more fast than Yanmega, which means he doesn't have any speed investment. And he told me that he's max HP, and that makes sense. That explains why he took those Earth Powers from my Claydol so well, and why he survived that Sacred Sword. So you know, that's the only reason he actually was able to do half the stuff he did. But I mean, this entire time I was under the impression he was going to outspeed my Pokemon, which is why this match is so long. So now he is able to bring in his Raikou, outspeed my Yanmega, which at +1, which means he's scarfed. And but he's locked into Thunderbolt now. I'm able to go into my Tangrowth, go for Sleep Powder, then go for Leech Seed, and then after that, just kind of slowly whittle him down with Giga Drains and Leech Seeds until this Raikou ends up dying. You know, Tangrowth is so weak on the special defense end that I don't take those Thunderbolts well at all, despite the fact that I am max HP, and that's resisted, so that's kind of crazy. But just after one more turn, he survives just a sliver from left Leech Seed. He doesn't get a crit. A crit actually would have killed me right there, but so he did have a very slim chance to win until the very end. Fun fact, I don't think there was one crit that entire game, which is pretty impressive, but I ended up coming away with the close 1-0. Him losing his Domenitan with that kind of misplay really early on really hurt him, because as you see, I actually did a video like kind of breaking down this team and giving my rating of it, and what I mentioned in this video and what I'm going to mention now is that this team is extremely weak to fire. My only resist to it is actually Domenitan, and Yanmega, Cobalion, and Tangrowth are all weak to it. So seeing that Domenitan can normally just go like blast holes through this team, so that's why I just went for Stone Edge right off the bat, and I'm really glad that he stayed in, because if he hadn't, this would have been a lot harder of a match, and Domenitan combined with Malouetta probably could have beaten me. But that's the game, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I'll hopefully be bringing videos more frequently. I do have a long weekend, so I'll probably get a couple, make a couple in this time span. But yeah, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed. I sure did, and thanks for watching.